Hey Nath, hope you're well, dude. I just thought after walking through a couple of tours, don't get me wrong, they're very, very good, and it's not an issue. But just a little tip, I reckon after I've walked around it, I think what works really well, see how you've got these all sort of, quite evenly spaced out. That's sort of where you can walk between them all in a similar way. And this way even, that's excellent. You've got one in front of the sink. Obviously, it doesn't always work where you can space them out evenly, but I think in times like this, if you walk around the corner, it's probably not a bad one to have one in between here as well. That jump is probably just getting a little bit too big. And so yeah, perhaps if you can just, any jumps like that, try and keep them, and see how you've got it the same on this side. Similar spacing, pop around here. It's sort of, I sort of thought it might be one there. Yeah, and it's mainly in your big living areas, I think. But yeah, it's obviously really, really good, man. It's not an issue. It's just a little, after a walk around on the iPad. The only other thing, this is all really good. This here again, actually, that's probably just getting a little bit on the big side. So you've got that sort of spacing there, back here. That's probably a bit too big. If you can try and keep it a little bit more even. The only other thing, and these are very difficult, this sort of situation where you've got a lot of doors. So this is excellent. You come in here, that's the right way to go. I reckon here, this one here is good. You've got that sort of similar spacing, which is sort of throughout most of the house. And that is definitely the right way to go this way. That's great. This here, where you've got a funny couple of little doorways, and I did turn off one here, but I think what would work well here is probably, somewhere more natural to walk to there rather than a doorway there or the far corner. Perhaps there. And if you're ever unsure, try, and I really struggled with this as well when I was scanning. You had two here for the doors, which allowed you to get a little peek in there and scan them. If you would have had one in the middle here, I reckon it would have flowed a lot nicer, because you could probably, if that makes sense, from in between those doors, you could probably almost access all doorways from there. So if you imagine walking from here, somewhere like there, you could probably almost walk to any of those doorways. And it's very hard to do while you're at the house to visualize what it's like on an iPad. But if you're unsure of any of those sort of doorways, throw one in there anyway, and then we can always just turn it off. There was another example as well. Seaford 4 bed. And like I said, man, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with these scans at all. They're really good. But just another funny doorway little position. Here, yeah, this is really awkward. As in an awkward one to scan, and it's fine like it is, but if you can imagine, and you probably have to have this scan anyway, because if you've scanned from out this way, you need to, you need to get a peek in there to get a little bit of, to build a bit of model to scan to. But if there was one in the middle of this, I reckon you could probably almost access all doorways without the little shuffle in between. It's a bit more evident if you come from this way. So I think if you have one in the middle here, and you'd still need him to walk in the bathroom, but you could probably almost go down the hallway or into that room or out this way. So yeah, if in any doubt in those sort of where you've got doors close together, try dropping one in the middle as well, and then we can just see how it goes when we're editing. But yeah, like I said, man, otherwise really, really good. No issues at all. It's great. So yeah, I thought it'd be easier by video anyway, dude. I hope that doesn't rub you the wrong way. It's certainly not intended to. Cool. Thanks, dude. Take it easy.